episode of Bob Vapes. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you're all well. I had a few days off, so I haven't uploaded anything for a little while. I just spent a bit of time with the family. Basically, I got my part-timer Chris in. He covered me. He did a grand job, and that allowed me a little bit of time to spend with my girls, soak up some of that nice bank holiday sun as well. So it was really, really nice. It was probably the longest time I've had off since I opened up this shop last July. So it was really nice. So I thought I'd bring out a quick video just to see how you all are and just keep you up to date with anything. I come back today and I had this in the post. This is, if you're not aware, it's called a bow, and it is a pod system. Now, pod system basically means you get these little cartridge devices that are pre-filled with e-liquid. You do get sort of different flavors and stuff like that. They just click in, and then there's no button. It is activated by the drawer. So like that. I'm really, really impressed with this. So they sent it to me with a few pods just to try it out, see what my customers basically think, if there's any sort of interest for me to start selling it. I'm very, very impressed. My part-timer Chris as well was really, really impressed with it. The flavour coming from it is really, really nice. You get a nice decent throat here. The drawer is a lot like a cigarette. It's very, very light. I'm very impressed. So small as well, just can easily fit in your top pocket. It's very discreet. It ticks the boxes for me. So if I do get some sort of interest from this from my customers, I will certainly be stocking this. Another thing that happened today was I got a visit from these guys, Zeus Juice. So Zeus Juice, I spoke about it in another video. I really, really like the flavours and that. I've always wanted to get it in. I've sold out completely of the black again. I need to order loads more of that. And just every time I get it in, it sells out within a couple of days. But then I had this rep come in today. They found out that I stocked the juice, and they wanted a one-on-one, just to have a little conversation about their products, how they do things. Sorry, that was a loud bike. I'm sure you heard that. But yeah, that's what I really, really liked about it. It was a really nice touch. Getting that one-on-one interaction. He'll show me, as I say, all the different flavors they have, their branding, because that's their old style packaging. So all the new stuff is going to be redesigned, so it's going to be looking more like this one here. So it's got that sort of new fancier looking label, but label aside, the juice is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's what I really like. I mean, with Brews Bros as well, I go on about Brews Bros all the time. Reason being, and that is because I've had that one-on-one interaction. The guys behind it and that are really cool. And along with Brews Bros and Zeus Juice and that, I tend to find that the people behind the company tend to really care about their product. And you can normally get that by just the flavors in general. They don't seem like they're just knocked out just general juices or flavors just to try and quickly grab a little bit of money. It looks like there's been a bit of craftsmanship involved and everything like that. So I'm all for that. I'm passionate about this, and when I'm selling stuff to customers, I want to be passionate behind the juice I'm selling. And also with Phoenix as well. The name that's on my shop. They sell the Cedar Reserve, and I'm very passionate about their PG line. Their PG line, I think, is absolutely outstanding. It's a little bit more pricier than say some of the other ones. I do have a Vado juice in that's more catered for the budget, but you can generally tell the difference. There's been a lot more craftsmanship involved. There's a lot more testing involved in these and that. So when people do try these out, they tend to stick to them, and they're not ridiculously overpriced either. It's not like you're going to be spending like you were cigarettes and stuff like that either. So you've got to put that into perspective. Also, while I was away, I noticed, which I'll touch on a little bit, is that there was a piece on Radio 2. It was all about vaping, basically. I didn't listen to it. I did see a Facebook thread, and I read through some of the comments. And Planet of the Vapes as well, they did a short piece on it as well, just sort of giving you a quick guide to what went on in the interview and everything like that. And by all accounts, it was very, very negative. There was a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say. It was more along the lines of I don't want to be breathing in other people's chemicals. I hate the smell of these things. There's a lot of usual things that tend to go about when non-vapors, non-smokers and stuff like that tend to talk about it. And apparently even Jonathan Ross, who actually vapes himself, was also being slightly negative to it. He was just in terms of goes, I heard that it's much better for you, but I want to try and come away from it because I'm sure that it's not, and everything like that. So I think it was a bit wrong of Radio 2 to do this piece in such a negative way without having both sides. I mean, it's the BBC. Generally the BBC are quite good with that. They tend to let both sides of the fence be able to have an argument. It doesn't sound like there was anyone there to defend any claims, to counteract any arguments or any complaints that was brought up on this discussion. So I found that a little bit that was a bit wrong, really. Obviously, talking to you lot are going to be vapors and everything. You're going to be a little bit more clued up in regards to that it's only vapor. It's not emitting any dangerous chemicals like anything like a cigarette would or anything like that. But I will also go slightly on the other fence as well. Now, this is just me being, as I say, on the fence or whatever now. But so what I mean by this is, now this is my go-to everyday sort of setup. This is the ones that will produce loads and loads of vapor. This is my preferred choice of vaping. I tend to pick this up more often than not. But even me, I sometimes have a slip of the tongue and I sometimes say smoke. Very, very rarely, but I have been known to say it because it does look like smoke, doesn't it? It's vapor, but it perceives that it's smoke. And for a very, very long time, obviously, when we've been inhaling and exhaling something that, has that, it's been smoke. It's it's only been very recently that now all people start saying it's vapor as well. So when you're a non-vapor or you're a non-smoker and you're seeing these people walking down the streets, and they're going to reference it as a big puff of smoke. So I get that. Also, I do get the fact that, and I've had it before. I've been out in the public and I've started vaping away on my sub-ohm device. And, I get quite embarrassed by it, to be honest. Just for the simple fact is, you're emitting all of this vapor. And sometimes it always tends to float right in front of people that are not smoking or not vaping or anything like that, and it just goes right into them, and you can see it. It's like engulfing these people, and I can see it from their side. Visually it just doesn't look right, does it? If you can't see it or anything like that, like pollution or something like that, no one's obviously gonna pick up on it nowhere near as much because you just can't visually see it. So I do sort of get that, and that's where a bit of vaping etiquette's gonna start needing to really be clamped down on, because the more and more that we're starting to use these sub-ohm devices and be outside, whether it be on the sidewalk and sidewalk, I sound like an American now, just on the the path in the street, outside a pub, like just right near the door or anything like that. Even now, me being in the shop, like this morning, and I was sat here and I'd had a few sort of goes on my dripper, and loads and loads of vapor was obviously coming out, and then there was this draft that went through the shop and it went straight outside the door, and it's like a real big sort of condensed bit of vapor, and it went straight into someone's face, and they were sort of like, oh, they were taken aback. And you know, I got a bit, you know, I was just like, oh, you know, it's not a good look, really, is it? And you know, I mean, I know we all know it's better than smoking, the smell of smoking and everything like that. I do get that. If everyone was just, you know, didn't really care about it so much, and obviously, and that, you know, I'll be just walking around and doing the same. But there are some like really good devices that are like small, discreet, don't produce as much vapor, and that I think, you know, will probably be more beneficial for all of us in the long run to sort of use more. You know, at the times when, you know, say you're in a smoking shelter at a hospital, or you're outside, as I say, the front of the pub right next to the door or anything like that, you know, maybe something like this will be, you know, perceived a lot better, wouldn't it? And you know, if I'm pulling on this anywhere, no one's really going to take too much notice. And the reason why I'm saying this as well is just because obviously the UK are backing us in terms of, you know, Public Health England and the NHS and everything like that. What we don't want to do is take advantage of this and just, you know, just be like, whatever, and then, you know, just have all this etiquette go out the window and really, really start to annoy the general public, so much to the extent that they then start banning it in all public places, and, you know, having the same tar of the brush as like smoking and things like that. That's really what we don't want. You know, can you imagine if they banned it indoors? You know, for vape shops, you're not going to be able to test out the e-liquids anymore or anything like that. So we, you know, at the moment, I just do feel we still need to tread, you know, that little fine line, you know, tread a little bit more carefully. Think about where you're vaping. Think about, you know, are you walking along in a really, really busy street, and, you know, are you producing so much vapor you're going to be getting it into everyone's faces? You know, I'll just say, just be that little bit more conscious about what you do. And if you can get on with these sort of devices, which I do, anytime I'm out and about now, I always take, well, obviously I wasn't taking this because I got it today, but I normally take, you know, this little one. This is my out and about, or even in the car, because obviously when you're in the car, you know, you're not going to blow loads of plumes of vapor and that, and not be able to see where you're going. So it's just, still produces a decent amount, but it just is nowhere near like what the other one was, and it goes so much quicker, and people are not really going to take much notice. So yeah, I thought I'd keep this nice and short. So yeah, I hope you found that interesting. It wasn't a rant or anything like that. I'm not telling you how you should vape. I'm just saying, you know, if you can, just be a little bit more consciously aware, and, you know, give us vapors, you know, well, try not to give us vapors so much of a bad name, just in terms of, like, you know, etiquette and stuff like that. Yeah, so again, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. We're closing in on the 100 subscribers. That's amazing. So yeah, come on, keep sharing and stuff. Give me that support. That would be awesome. Thank you to everyone that already has subscribed. You lot are my favorite people. So until next time, bye bye.